Hey, what's up guys? Travis Fulton here and welcome to Online Gainz. Each week, I'm gonna be sharing with you real insight on how I'm developing players all across the world on full swing, short game, and putting. Be sure to tune in.
All right, hey, Mike Travis Fulton here. Thanks for the videos. Let's look at the different angles here, starting with the iron. Just as a general statement, you can see the grip definitely on the stronger side. Gonna just kind of keep that in mind as we look through this. I think one of the big things here is gonna be where your head position is relative to the ball. Now, I think first and foremost, your head starts a little bit too far in front of the ball. I'm going to show you something here with ball position that is probably going to get the ball a touch more forward, but in addition to that, we've got to get the spine to tilt just a little bit away from the target. And then when you turn, we've got to keep your spine leaning a little bit more away from the target. You can see how your spine's wanting to kind of lean a little bit ahead of it, right? So at this point, your head should be more behind that red line. Now, when you start down, just naturally, your head's gonna wanna go more forward, right? So you're definitely out in front here with the upper body. And then when you come down, you'll see the head trying to get back, because the more it probably does get back there, the better you're gonna hit it. And so there's a lot of good things happening here, but I think the fact that your head starts a little too far in front of the ball, and then it goes a little more ahead of it to the top of the swing, and then it goes a little bit more ahead of it in transition, is making things more difficult than it needs to be, all right? And I think this little backup move at the last second, as the club gets longer, is where some of those hooks can come into play, considering that your grip is definitely on the stronger side. All right, so I want to keep this in mind, and I want to go to the next view. I want to look at the club face angle from the next view. There's a pretty good chance that I do think we'll weaken the grip a little bit, but we're going to for sure get your feet a little wider, get the ball position a touch more forward, and definitely get you tilted more behind it at address. And then I'm going to show you how I want you to stay behind it, how to turn and stay behind it to the top of the swing. And then from there, of course, you'll be able to stay behind it through impact. Let's go to the other view.
All right, so here's what I want you to do. We're gonna look at this in two phases here. The first is the setup and then how the body is turning and the head is staying behind the ball. And then the second will be the grip and you managing the grip. If we need to weaken the grip a little bit to take a little pressure off the club face being perhaps a little too closed, then you can do that. I'm gonna attach a second video that's the grip only, that really zooms in on the hands and shows you the difference between that strong grip and then the more neutral grip. So the first thing here, with the feet, I would definitely get the feet in general, probably just a little bit wider. The right foot, it's okay for the right foot to be flared maybe just a little bit, 5–10% out, and then of course the left foot can be flared out as well. Now, driver ball position, you had it forward off the left heel, which I like, left heel, left shoulder. Your fairway woods hybrids, long irons, you could probably move just inside that. And then as you get to those short to mid irons, you could probably go just inside that. Wedges 9, maybe middle-ish. I'd get 8, 7. I'd start moving it up a little, okay? And then from there, I would make sure the spine tilts a little to your right. You're set up a little this way. Your spine's pretty neutral or stacked up, and your pelvis sits underneath you. And then as that ball goes forward, you tend to gravitate up to that forward ball position. So what I would do is I would take your feet, put them together like this, Flare out the front foot, big step with the right, slight flare. Hands in line, don't lean them forward with the driver, and then tilt the spine a little to the right, let the pelvis counter a touch to the left, and then I would feel like your chest looks more back here. So I would kind of turn your chest and feel like it looks more over here, okay, rather than up this way. So spine tilted gently to the right, turn the chest a little back here to the right. You'll probably feel a little closed, but I like that setup in general for the driver. Now, in the turn, what I want you to do is I want you to feel like you turn and you stay a little bit more in right bend. Okay, so you want to feel like your spine is here at address, and then when you turn, you want to feel like you kind of stay a little bit more over there. Your tendency is to have your spine too much here, neutral, and then when you turn, you want to lean a little towards the target. And then of course from there, as you start down, you get out in front of it. I want you to look at kind of 4 movements with your spine. Look at it this way. You have your spine that it can tilt to the right, it can tilt to the left, okay? And then it can also flex forward and extend back, okay? Now, of those 4 things, your tendency right now is you're set up too much to the left, and then you want to lean more to the left. Your spine wants to be in more left bend as you turn to the top, okay? And you may even feel your spine wanting to extend a little as you're going to the left. Now, the opposite of that, of course, is going to be right bend, okay? And then as you turn and you stay what feels like in more right bend, I'm exaggerating, you may feel like your spine's kind of a little more flexed down too. Okay, so it kind of feels like you're more over here and less over here, okay? I always kind of imagine there's a wall right here. This is a pretty good drill. There's a wall right here. And what I want to do is I want to turn and put my hands on this wall. So I feel like I'm, you know, kind of more to my right, maybe flex down a little bit versus extending and leaning to the left. Now I'm losing that wall. Okay, so it's kind of a feel versus real. What you're looking at, I'm probably exaggerating a little bit, but the idea is that your head is more behind the ball at address, and then it kind of stays there, right? It stays over there. And so when you start down, now you're gonna be behind it. Okay, there's gonna be no need for, if I start over it, if I turn and my head's in front of it, now I'm really in front of it. Now I feel the need like I gotta back up, and you won't need to do that anymore, okay? So on the range, at home, maybe you take an alignment stick of sorts. You'll see an alignment stick. Guys will put it in the ground. They'll take a pool noodle. They'll put the pool noodle on it. It'll run up to give them a reference, you know, to where their head is. Starts behind, turns behind in right bend, stays behind. Okay, so that's what I would do for the game plan. It's gonna feel different to you, but I think it's gonna help you a lot, especially from a consistency standpoint. The second phase of that, watch this grip video. If you feel like the grip is too strong and the face is going, or excuse me, if you feel like the club face is too closed, I would take this strong grip and I would start moving it back to the left a little bit. Okay, and with that more neutral grip, I think it'll go nicely if needed with these changes with the body.